Well, Samson, let me say a very good morning to you and to our cherished viewers and my co-discussants. That should have actually been the case, but unfortunately, it is not. And I'll demonstrate to you why. This is the document that NACA is saying that they have withdrawn. Document that was published in 2025. In that document, they defined what gender identity is. And I think that all of us have seen that document that they have withdrawn. It's a 2025 publication. They said that gender identity refers to a person's deeply felt internal experience of gender, which may or may not correspond with the sex assigned at birth. This is what they have withdrawn. If you check the statement that was issued by NACA, you remember they referred us to an online version. That very day, I printed the online version, and I'll come to the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference statement as to where I disagree with the greatest of respect in the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference in commending NACA for, as it were, withdrawing that document and revising it. This is the document that I have printed. It is about a 384-page document that they referred Ghanaians to go and check. In that document, page 3 and 5 is actually worse than what they are saying that they have withdrawn.
Really?
Yes, and in page 3 and 5, you can check page 3. They have defined sexual orientation. They define sexual orientation to mean that it describes a person's pattern of emotional, romantic, and sexual attraction to others, not to opposite sex, to others. It means that a man can say that I believe in this kind of sexual orientation to another man. It does not end there. Come back to page 5. It talks about rights and choices. They defined what rights and choices under sexual and reproductive health. It says that sexual reproductive health emphasizes the rights of individuals to make informed decisions about their sexual and reproductive lives without discrimination, coercion, or violence. This is the revised version. Now, they also define sexual rights to mean that the recognition of sexual rights includes the right to sexual pleasure, autonomy over one's own body, as well as freedom from violence and discrimination based on sexual orientation and gender. That is why I disagree with the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference with the greatest of respect when they commend NACA that it has been withdrawn, and for that matter, they should be commended. No.
They spoke too early.
Yes, because my Lord Bishops, with the greatest of respect, even though they have been very consistent about their demands in forming an upright individual and citizen, because in the formation of an individual, it is not just about the skilled labor, it is also about the moral uprightness of the person. And that is why it is very important that care will have to be taken in assessing this document that they have now, as it were, referred us to, because clearly it does not show so.
But will you agree that their commendation is based on what you brought to their attention, which we were told has been removed?
Yes.
And the new definition, gender, is gender, it refers to the binary categories of male and female determined at birth. This is what we want, is that not so? Then gender expression, this refers to the external display of one's gender through a combination of dress, demeanor, social, blah, 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 and they end up with measured by scales of masculinity and femininity. So I think this was the bone of contention, and this is what they are commending for the retraction.
No, Samson, you have to read the document in its entirety. In the withdrawn document, it is only gender identity that they have removed from the whole document.
Because that is what you brought to their attention, and all of us our attention.
No, that's what I'm saying, that in reading the document as a whole, it is incumbent on the Ghana Catholic Bishops' Conference to also understand that there are certain parts of the document that espouses the tendencies of LGBTQ. And that is what I am bringing to the attention of the Ghana Catholic Bishops Conference and the general public, that even in the revised document, the definitions that has been stated in there are worse in its form than what we already seen or what has already been withdrawn. And that's what I'm saying, that even though I commend them, their consistency is legendary. And it is very important that we underscore that point. But I'm also saying that the revised version is in its worst form. Now, let me bring your attention to how a curriculum, as it were, because remember, I was a public relations officer for the Ministry of Education from 2017 to 2020.
Hold on briefly for me, I beg you.
Yes.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure all of us on this table have not paid attention to the new document. He has brought to our attention definitions that remain in the new document and read some of them to us. Guys, what do you say? Please, go back to those portions you just read.
Do we call it a new document? Based on what he's saying, we can't call it a new document. It's still an existing document. They just expunged what they thought a controversy was linked to. So this is not a new document.
But this doesn't solve the problem.
It doesn't solve the problem. So I think that
please read those back again before.
Let's be fair.
Khaled, you have to understand that.
Yes.
Your Deputy Minister of Education, Dr. Apak, through his Facebook wall, told the people of Ghana that you guys actually revised it. Listen, you actually revised it. That revised form is what has been, as it were, posted on the online version. That is what I've printed.
No, Vincent, if we start to use Facebook posts of personal people in a discussion as important as this. No, what I'm saying is that, look, we need an official stance on this to move on. Ministers may use discretion to come out whatsoever. It's a big platform and it's a big issue. You're a member of parliament and you've been through the process. I don't want us to say X Facebook said this, Y Facebook said. Let's premise.
For emphasis, let's go back to those portions you have just drawn our attention to.
Before then, the Facebook post I'm talking about was Dr. Apak referring us to an official document from NACA. Withdrawing the document. Now let me go to the document. Page 3.
Page 3.
Page 3 of that document.
Okay.
And this is the revised version of the physical education and health that is elective for senior high schools. This is what they referred us to.
What paragraph is this?
Page 3. Paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
Sexual orientation. That it describes a person's pattern of emotional, romantic, or sexual attraction to others. Now, the combined effect of page 3 and 5, when you read the definition of rights and choices and that of sexual rights, is what is scary. And if you read the rights and choices, it says, and that is under the subheading key components of sexual and reproductive health, it says that sexual rights, sexual and reproductive health emphasizes the rights of individuals to make informed decisions about their sexual and reproductive lives without discrimination, coercion, or violence. And when I'm done, I will tie this one into the recommendation of the Constitutional Review Commissions as to how they want to amend Article 28 of the 1980 Constitution. But I'll get there.
So hold on there. Wait. Prof, hold on. I want the ladies to come in first. What you have heard him refer to, page 3, paragraph 5, then page 5. The definitions we find the sexual orientation and key components.
Yes.
Are they okay? Are you okay with them?
Okay, so first let me ask a few questions. This revised version, in terms of document control, I wanted to know. This revised version, it's because there's a difference between something that is revised and something that has been reviewed and remained the same. So let's say that this is a revised version. The document control numbers should be different. You understand? Different from something that has been reviewed and remains the same, or whatever it is. So I would want to know whether this is a revised version, the documentation is different. That we know that we are dealing with a new document that has new things in it. Otherwise, it's maybe just the old one that had this already in. And because of the highlighted portion, they just removed it, reviewed it in terms of that review.
Madam Susan, your answer is that the one that has been withdrawn was in its hard copied form that has been distributed across the country to the teachers which they have withdrawn. In fact, they have recalled all those copies back. Now, in the NACA statement, when they were withdrawing, they told us that we should now access the revised form on an online platform, that is their website, which I have printed here.
So the revised version is completely different from the one that was being withdrawn.
It is not completely, but it is somehow different. And that's what I'm saying, that even in the revised form, some of the definitions in there is scarier than what...
So the question that Prof asked you, which Susan is continuing on, it's logical for all of us. We want to know whether they simply went to the gender identity and removed that and replaced that.
I can safely say so.
So these were already in the old one.
I can safely say so.
That is already in the old document.
See, there's even a twist of it. As at yesterday night, when I went back to check the online version, they had also made another changes to it. Yes, which I have here on my phone. Yes,
so the online one has had changes.
Yes.
So there was one previously, and there's a new document right now.
Yes.
And the new document has new things that were not in the previous.
Absolutely.
Document.
So in fact, this document, there is no definition of gender identity.
When was this one produced?
This one was produced. Let me say, it was produced by the NDC government because it has been signed by the Honorable Haruna Idrisu. Oh yes, I have it here. I'll show it to you.
So wait.
Can I come in here?
Wait. You see, you confirmed something earlier. Let's be careful not to make any confusion. You confirmed something earlier. This 300 and something page document is a document that was made in 2024 and now has been spotted. So. No, wait. I'm not saying you have said so.
Okay.
Now it's been spotted that gender identity, the definition is problematic.
Yes.
And the NACA says, we have gone to correct that.
Yes.
But everything else in that document remain. You are not saying that this 300 plus page document has just now been done.
Yeah. Now give me 2 minutes to give you the background. I have worked in the Ministry of Education before. In the development of a curriculum, you first and foremost ensure that you have a guideline framework, if you like, a curriculum framework. Now, out of the curriculum framework, you now develop your curriculum from it. Okay? All these things were done in 2022 and 2023. No qualms about that. But I'm also suggesting to you that as part of the processes, you now have to develop a textbook and other instructional materials from the curriculum. And those textbooks and instructional materials were developed in 2025. That's what I'm coming to show you, that this is one of the instructional materials that has been signed by the Honorable Haruna Idrisu. In fact, he gave the foreword. The PLC, which is the Professional Learning Community Handbook, was signed by Haruna Idrisu. In fact, in this book, he was referring us to the manual, that is a revised manual, and maybe if I go to...
No, it couldn't have been, because these things happened in the past few days. So this document, I don't want to see the date in which was signed.
You don't have any problem. No, I'll show it to you.
Because this document may have been signed on the old one that has now been withdrawn.
Hold on, respectfully. The Honorable Haruna Idrisu was a minister, or if you like, was appointed in 2025. I am suggesting to you that in the curriculum, because see, you have to be able to find in the curriculum and the framework issues of gender identity, if you like, defined. Because as I said, it is not a standing document. One will have to give birth to the other.
Right.
The curriculum will have to give birth to the instructional manual.
Yeah.
So there cannot be any definition of gender identity that does not form basis from the curriculum. Now I'm suggesting to you that in 2022 and 2023, per the curriculum and the framework, there is nothing that has been mentioned with respect to gender identity, with respect to sexual rights.
Because that was a time that, you know, the issue came up.
Yes.
And then there was the uproar against it.
No, that was in 2018.
Yes.
That was in 2019.
Yeah, that is when the first time, what do you call this, CST or something?
The CST, Comprehensive Sexuality.
It came up.
Yes.
And then the president assured that it will never happen under his watch.
Yes.
And then the changes were made.
Yes.
So it didn't happen.
No, see.
The curriculum was developed from that point.
No, 2019, the documents that were, as it were, exposed was just a presentation. It did not find expression in any of our official documents like we are finding now. It was just a presentation that was made to teachers. Which document was leaked, which brought about the comprehensive sexuality education discussion. Now, mind you, even the comprehensive sexuality education was first found expression in the Ghanaian discourse in 2012 to 2016. That was when the Ghana Education Service signed an agreement with the United Nations Population Fund, where an amount of 51 million Ghana cedis was given to the country, and out of the 51 million Ghana cedis, 33.9 million was for purposes of comprehensive sexuality education. That was the first time we heard that in 2012-2016, when President Mahama was the president of the Republic of Ghana. In fact, in 2016, he chaired a program and launched a program with Lord Dina Mahama at Kempinski about the 7th African Conference where sexual rights was espoused here in Ghana. So I'm saying that yes, those discussions were had before 2012 and 2022 and 2023, but the manuals was never developed in 2024 or 2023. The manuals were developed in 2025.